guys, welcome to CrossFit Palm Beach. My name is Andrew Frezza, and I am joined by our athletes of the month. We got another couple back, and it's Cathy and Tim Spicer. So we picked them just because they're awesome, first of all, and they're probably two of the most consistent, coachable, and positive athletes that we have at CrossFit Palm Beach. So wanted to recognize them and get to know them a little bit better. So let's kind of start with when you guys started. We started back towards the end of 2015. We had November in our membership account here. Who convinced who to start? What was that dynamic like when you guys first started?
I think I get credit for that.
Yeah, no, it was you. Yeah.
He was doing CrossFit before that. I tried once and got hurt on a box jump and quit. But we came here for Katie's mom's
benefit.
Mm-hmm. And I thought it was awesome. So he didn't want to quit his, how long had you been there, 2 years?
Yeah, about 2 years.
So he made me do all my training with Tony, get through it, and promise that I was really doing it, and then he switched over.
Cool. So you were doing CrossFit before then?
Yeah, I was at a different gym for a couple of years over at the Armory.
Cool. And so you've been doing it a while. Take us back to your first workout or when you first started. What got you into it, and what was it like when you first started?
First started CrossFit in general. I thought it was the most wonderful thing in the world. It was, what I thought I'd finally found was a good match for what I like to do. Totally into it 100%, and it just stuck with it from there. When I transitioned over here, I realized how much better this gym is than what I had been experiencing, and generally speaking, the coaching it was spectacular, and it's exactly what I think I needed, and I was glad that Cathy convinced me to jump out and come over.
Awesome. What was your background before you guys started, whether it be like growing up or last few years before you got into CrossFit? What kind of things had you done or been into?
I'd played, in high school I did soccer, basketball, and track, and then in college I just did soccer. And then until I blew out my knee when I was 40 in a co-ed soccer league.
Can't play soccer.
And then we just been doing, he did a lot more than me, but we did like half marathons. We finally did a marathon like 4 years ago now. Mm-hmm. In and out of, I tried Orange Theory, got sick of that after a few months. And so right before I joined here, I was just running, which I hate. And
Cool. What about you, Tim?
Yeah, similar, high school athlete and then into college. And
what did you play?
Lacrosse and football, yeah. And then after that, just needed a way to expend energy and got into some of the early triathlons in upstate New York and did pretty well there. And then when we moved down here, got into more of those. Subsequently got into the half marathons and eventually did a full marathon, and a lot of coaching as well. Girls lacrosse has been a big thing for me, so just keeping active and competitive that way.
Cool. What is it about CrossFit? It sounds like this is one of the things that's stuck the longest for you guys. What is it about CrossFit that's made it stick?
I think the variety for me, and then that with a huge part for me really is the atmosphere here and the people. It's definitely become like that favorite hour of the day. I try to stretch it to 2 or 3 sometimes just because I'm like, I don't really want to leave.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I think it's sort of that attitude that is sponsored in CrossFit, and especially here, it's always positive, right? It's a good way to blow off steam. It's generally some of the movements and the lifts, or even though you think you've done them 1,000 times, you're always learning, so there's always that challenge for yourself, and then just being around the cool people that are here.
Cool. Let's talk about some of the accomplishments and achievements you guys have had. What's been, what changes have you seen, first of all, positive changes, and then what's been the most proud accomplishment you would say that you've had so far in the last couple of years?
Probably, even just being able to jump on the bar. When I started with Tony, he had to put the bar down on the ground and just had me do that, kind of pull up on it. And I wouldn't even jump on the 12-inch box. I tried really hard, and I was like, I can't do it. But then most recently with the open, I got toes to bar, and dubs, they're not pretty at all. I need to clean them up. But that was really huge for me, and probably the rope too. I thought there was no way I was ever getting up the rope.
Yeah, I remember you told me that when you first started, that you'd never get up, and I remember saying, yeah, you would. It might take a while, but we'll get there.
It took a little longer than.
Yeah, lots of things. I think the biggest thing recently anyways was the open. First time ever doing that with all of the workouts in the non-scaled division, if you will. So that felt really good, really, really big for me.
Cool. Was there a specific movement or milestone from this year's Open?
Probably the multiple rounds of the toes to bar.
Yeah.
That was pretty good. More than I ever done by a long shot. So yeah, brings out the best in you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your favorite CrossFit exercise?
I love lunges, probably, and deadlifts.
Yep, not lunges. I like thrusters actually. It gets the heart rate going pretty quick, but I still feel pretty strong. And whenever I'm done with that, the next 3 days always feel tight. So it's like an instant fix on feeling flabby or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to not get a good workout doing thrusters. So let's talk about the competitive dynamic between you guys. What is that like? Are you guys, I think Cathy's here more often earlier in the day, or no, actually sometimes you're here. Like, are you guys comparing scores? What does that look like at home?
He's always asking. It's pretty one-sided. He's pretty much the...
That's BS.
We have a very competitive household, period. But he's definitely well, what was your time? How many? And he'll actually get angry if I'm too close to...
Not angry.
Annoyed.
I'm happy for you. Yeah, it's competitive. At least I am. No doubt.
So I think Cathy's pretty competitive too. You're also the bingo queen, Cathy, so you can't not
Oh
be
yeah,
competitive.
I forgot about that, didn't you?
So
I'm very competitive, but I'm not competitive against men. Like, I just see it as two different brackets, so it doesn't, although, especially when I do beach fit, and if I do beat a couple guys, I do like that feeling. But yeah, bingo is awesome. Bingo is so much fun. That has to come back.
if bingo comes back, no one's gonna beat Cathy. Good luck with that one. And dodgeball is coming back for sure. Tim did dodgeball before. What was it like doing dodgeball?
Oh, that's like the best, you know. It's going back to being a kid. Yeah, it's definitely, I love it. I wish I could do it all the time, every week.
Cool. Let's talk about food and nutrition. What's your favorite cheat meal or just favorite food in general?
I love steak. It's probably still steak.
That's not a cheat. What's your cheat meal?
What? Probably pizza then.
Really? Okay.
Steak pizza.
Hot dogs.
Hot dogs?
All day long, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I love them.
How has your nutrition changed since starting? I know you guys have done like challenges and stuff with us. Do you have any tips for anybody? Like what are things you've learned from a nutrition standpoint?
It's completely changed. I think for both of us, but probably even more so me. He understood a lot more about nutrition than I did. But when we first started, it was like the next month and the first 40-day superhuman challenge was starting, and he killed that. But we switched and started eating paleo, and pretty strictly for the last 2 years. And then just January 1, I started counting macros, and that's like, boom, taking it to a different level. Like, I had no idea what I was eating or what was in it, for sure.
Yeah, I think I mentioned before I did the 40-day challenge about 2 years ago, and that was transformational for me. I couldn't believe how well it worked, and shed like 35 pounds and predominantly have kept it off. So I'd say it's more balanced now, the way I eat, than it was more strictly paleo, which feels a little better most days. But generally speaking, yeah, we've changed our nutrition quite a bit since we joined this gym, and it pays off. It's fun to cheat, and usually when I do, I go full in, but then I get right back out of it and get a little bit more strict, so it's good.
Cool. And you guys have done the Better Half Battle together. Are we in for next year?
Oh yeah, we're gonna kill everybody because we were the worst. So we left ourselves like a lot of room to
I
improve.
like the attitude. I don't know if we're gonna kill everybody.
Well, I
There's some
mean,
great athletes here.
Compared to how this year was.
Yeah, that was a lot
We
of
were
fun. I
horrible.
would encourage anybody to do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a blast. And if the timing works out, then absolutely count us in.
Cool. Do you guys have any favorite quotes or mottos that you that resonate with you, or that you use to get you through a tough workout, or use to get you into the gym?
I don't want to say just show up, because we've been talking about that a lot, and I think Tracy just said it recently, but that's probably the best one for me. I mean, there's definitely, for me, Committed Club is what made the difference for me last year. I was all over the place, But once we started the committed club, and I had to get my numbers, of course, that just switched it. And then there's lots of days I'm like, just go. And it always switches as soon as I walk in the door.
Cool. It's going to sound funny, but I use sort of the mantra, it's a good day to die, when I know you're coming in for a hard workout. So, like Murph, for example, is coming up, and you know it's going to hurt, right? There's going to be some pain involved. But, I mean, what better way to go out if you're going out on the hard side, you know? That's kind of it. You know, you can apply it a lot of ways. Sometimes when we're at that moment where you just don't feel like you got it left and there's only a few more seconds left, I'm like, anybody can get through something for 10 seconds, you know? So I kind of just play that in my head a little bit, you know, especially on the bikes or when it's really starting to cardio scale on you and you know your heart's tacking out. So that's kind of the mantra that I go to.
Cool. You mentioned Murph. Do you guys have a favorite benchmark workout? Is it Murph?
Yeah.
It's probably Murph, just because, again, the whole improvement and pushing ourselves. I did a half the first year we were here. Last year I did the full. This year I've been wearing the vest, playing with the idea of wearing the vest just for the runs at least. So I still don't have push-ups or pull-ups. So like wearing the vest inside probably is silly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think more to come on that now that we're getting better at some of these other movements, you know. Obviously some of the WODs that you're asking about include things like a lot of pull-ups and things like that. So as you get better at that, I bet that changes. But yeah, Murph for now.
Cool. What's the number one goal you guys want to accomplish in the future?
I want to keep the weight off that I've lost and maintain, because this is the first time that it's actually like staying off.
How much have you lost since starting?
Since starting, like 16.
Nice.
And continuing, like I've definitely transformed as well, like my muscles and how I feel in my clothing and stuff too. So I just want to keep going a little bit more.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think getting better on the rig all around is where I'm really weak. And so if I can do pull-ups without, you know, sweating it and start to get multiples, you know, sets of 6 to 12 would be awesome. That'd be a life's goal for me.
Cool. And your kids are also involved in CrossFit. How cool is that? What's that like to be able to share that with them, and how has that just kind of made you guys closer as a family?
It feels so cool, like on Mother's Day and Father's Day. They're like, what do you want to do? Well, of course we want to go to the box. So it was the first time before our youngest, because she's really active in lacrosse, she hadn't been in. The older girls actually told her, well, you got to do it, it's Father's Day. And that was just so much fun, all 5 of us being in here. We've done that a few times. And I love coming when they're in town, the 2 older girls. It's just so great having them in the gym. I'm like, wow, we're doing something like so positive and healthy, and everyone's so friendly to them, and they're like all excited when they come back. Hi, Jordan, too. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and some of their friends too. So when the Northerners come down to visit, they bring them in as well, and they get a taste of it. So it's been cool from that perspective too. But it's been awesome. I think it's a dream come true, right? We always kind of envisioned like belonging to a country club or something where we go out on Sundays and golf as a family. But this is actually kind of it, you know. The golf course is still there.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What advice do you guys have for someone who's just starting CrossFit or thinking about starting?
Yeah, go in with no fear. It's the right thing to do, really. I think it's definitely.
It's a good day to die, right?
Yeah, I think it can be intimidating when you first come into a CrossFit gym and you hear a lot of slamming and clanging, and if you've not been around that can probably have a little bit of an effect on certain people's psyche. But that's what you want to get to, I think, is a good way to say it, and you get trained properly. So, yeah, just go in with it and don't be afraid of it.
Yeah, I'd say same thing, and I think beach fit's fantastic for people that are just starting, and I think literally anybody could do it. Anybody can do CrossFit too. I think the way you guys are incredible about showing how to scale everything. So I'd say just to not be afraid, or to let your fear, push you in the door.
Cool. And Cathy, I know you do a little bit more beach fit than Tim. What is it about beach fit? Like, what do you get out of beach fit versus CrossFit? What do you like about beach fit?
Most of the time I feel like the beach fit's a little bit more cardio, and I want both, but I especially use beach fit when I want to do doubles, do 2 in a day. I'll do 1 of each class, and it feels like you've hit everything.
Oh,
And you
yeah.
extend your stay.
It's pretty impressive that you can do that. All right, guys, last question. What do you love most about CrossFit Palm Beach?
The people.
Yeah, positive
sure.
attitude in people. Yeah.
Cool. Then you guys are two of the best ones we got. So thanks for being part of our
Thank you.
group, and congrats on Athlete of the Month.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Nice
Done.
job, guys.